All of these logos have something in common. Can you tell what it is? Now can you tell the difference with some of the companies? These are all companies, but only some are Fortune 500 companies. It isn't easy to achieve this status, and only a selective group can claim it. For my Lights Academy final project presentation, I decided to focus on something that I'm interested in and plan on studying in college. I researched what common values were prevalent in Fortune 500 companies, specifically focusing on profitability, integrity, respect, and leadership. In my research, I've concluded that these 4 elements are key to running a successful business. I do realize, although, that many factors come into play when running a business, but these seem to be the most important and most relevant ones. In this presentation, I will break down these 4 very important factors of success. Profitability is a term loosely thrown around in today's society. I decided to give it a whole new meaning. In a competitive marketplace, a business owner must learn to achieve a standard level of profitability. Increasing profitability includes determining which areas of financial strategy are working and which ones need improvement in a company. Sales are one of the most important parts of making a profit. If the sales numbers are high, the company is better prepared to prepare for adverse market conditions that may exist in the future. An effective sales strategy can make or break a company and is essential in increasing profits in a business. Pricing is also a very important part in success. Setting a correct price is a key factor in determining profit margins. A business owner has to look at what the competitors are charging and then determine what prices he or she should charge to maximize profits. For a company to become profitable, income must exceed expenses. Expenses can be defined as the cost of resources used in activities of a business. Profits for the company are determined by analyzing what is left over after expenses are subtracted from total revenue. Lastly, there is a cost of saying in business. Income statements show a breakdown of income and expenses during that specific business year. One measure of a company's profitability is the profitability ratio. Profitability ratios analyze the financial health of a business. A profitability ratio looks at how a profit was earned in relation to sales, total assets, and net worth. There are many factors that are incorporated into creating a successful and profitable business. Profitability is the ability of a business to earn a profit. A profit is what is left of the business after it pays all expenses directly related to the generation of revenue, such as producing a product and other expenses related to the conduct of the business. Profitability is the primary goal of all businesses. Without profitability, the business will not survive in the long run. So therefore, measuring current and past profitability and projecting future profitability is very important. To be successful and remain in business, both profitability and growth are important and necessary for a company to survive and remain attractive to investors. Although financing can be used to sustain financially for a time, it is ultimately a liability, not an asset. Having a profitable and growing business go hand in hand in regard to success. The next step to having a well-run company is having respect and integrity throughout the organization. Having respect and integrity are so important when trying to run a successful business. Most definitions of integrity include something along the lines of having the quality of being honest and having strong moral uprightness. Although this is true, personally, I believe that there are several more things that must be incorporated into having a successful business. First, being able to keep your own personal integrity is most important. Being able to stay committed to a meeting or being on time can show integrity. As a whole, if your customer does not feel like you met your commitment, then in return, your company will have major problems. Having a strong moral code can also boost your company's integrity. Delivering constant and effective product to the customer can exponentially help create better profit margins. Lastly, being able to create and maintain trust is so important. Trust is a relationship built on character, strength, and ability to work together and effectively in a company. It usually takes several years to build, but once this is gained, it will create a stronger foundation for the business. To build company trust, personalization of the company is a necessity. People do business with other people. It is that simple. This may seem way too simple, but having trust inside the company and the relationships that are built with customers are so important. Even huge brands like Walmart and Google are judged daily by the quality of their people. Respect is a term that is very loosely thrown around in today's society. The definition of respect may differ from workplace to workplace, but I think there has to be a common appreciation of others. Having a strong foundation of people in the company can really make a huge difference. If the manager of a company respects an employee, a mutual respect is created between the two. Developing a respectful workplace is really actually very simple. The first step of having a healthy workplace is being able to listen to each other. Communication is the core of human relationships, and it should not be no different with your coworkers. Start a conversation by listening and making people feel comfortable, by sharing how they feel. This is a process that should go beyond the workplace. Collecting regular and ongoing employee feedback can help establish boundaries. Sending surveys and having group meetings along with one-on-one meetings can help diffuse situations in advance, along with collecting helpful information on what is happening. Sometimes the best feedback happens in the most casual settings, when a formal meeting is not mandatory. Next, showing that you care and are fully committed to the happiness of the employees is very important. Make sure they know that their opinion is being heard and recognized. Transparency is extremely important. Lastly, make sure you allow everyone to be themselves. Having team bonding events can help the employees come out of their shells and create a better working environment. Respect and integrity are so invaluable to a company, and a successful Fortune 500 company would not succeed without these two important qualities. Lastly, leadership. Leadership is a key element to success. Good leadership can truly make or break a company. Having a good leader is so imperative. When good leadership is in place, in a company, it can be felt throughout the entire organization. With good leadership, corporate culture is enforced. It is created. Corporate culture is set values and behaviors that contribute to the unique social and psychological environment of the organization. Communication is very important and should happen daily and often. The employees should also feel like they are an important part of the company. Your employees should know that without them, the company would not function. Even the smallest position is important. A good leader should also push their employees to want to be their best. Employees should be encouraged to compete with their own best to get ahead. They should also understand that helping their coworkers to succeed is the best way to get ahead of themselves. The result of good leadership is high morale, good employee retention, and sustainable long-term success. A bad leader can be felt throughout the entire company. When lack of demeanor or excitement enters a workplace, it can wreak havoc on employees. Having a strong leader can truly make a company succeed or drive it into the ground. It is important to realize that if someone holds a position of leadership, that it doesn't necessarily mean they should. Many organizations seem to be struggling or cannot seem to recognize the good from bad leaders. If the company has trouble identifying leaders or has a shortage of leaders, then you don't have a financial issue, but instead there's a leadership problem. And just like with the financial issue, this problem needs to be addressed and corrected. A leader should also be able to see the future of the business. Oh. Success is like a road. There are so many different curves and obstacles that must be navigated in order to get to your final destination. Success is not easy, and many companies fail due to lack of it. These 4 common values are all roads to success, and in the end, all converge into one massive highway. Now, this slide may be a little bit of an over-exaggeration, but this is what it looks like when values are thrown aside for profit. Let's take a look at Enron. Enron was a Fortune 500 company that lacked basic values. They were an energy company that modified its balance sheet to look more profitable for their shareholders, which misrepresented the actual earnings. Enron lacked honesty, integrity, and respect, and ultimately had an extremely corrupt leader who allowed this all to happen. Fortunately, they went bankrupt, so this corruption doesn't continue today, but the money stolen was never returned to investors. There are many Fortune 500 companies that have faith-based leaders. Tyson Foods is one example of how faith has played an important role in the foundation and morals of the company. Reverend Ronnie Floyd, who is the Tyson CEO's pastor, has said he's just a passionate leader in his faith, as well as in the corporate setting. This shows that it is possible to be a Christian-based organization and still be ranked number 93 on the Fortune 500 company list. Of the 4 values that I believe it takes to have a successful company, 3 of them can be directly related to how Jesus lived his life on earth: integrity, respect, and leadership. Values don't need to be compromised to also be profitable. There are many companies starting business today, but only a few will stay successful for decades to come. The ones that encompass profitability, integrity, respect, and leadership have the best opportunities for success. So I leave you today with this quote by Ray Goforth. There are 2 types of people who will tell you that you cannot make a difference in this world: those who are afraid to try, and those who are afraid you will succeed. Finally, I would like to take the time to acknowledge these special people in my life. First, Miss Otis, who has supported me since my freshman year and has been a great person to talk to about life, and has also proven to be a great advisor to this project. Mr. Black, who has been a great support to me not only in my volleyball career, but in the classroom as well. My mom, who she always knew that I had it in me to do anything I put my mind to. And lastly, my father, who has given me the confidence, and I can honestly say I would not be the person I am today without him. Thank you all so much for coming to my presentation today, and I would like to finish with being open to any questions you all have. No questions? All right. Oh, yes?
Would you say that communication is the common thread between all 4 of your points?
Yeah, for sure. I think communication is so important in a company, because if everyone understands what's happening, I feel like there can be common trust, like kind of what I talked about. Any other questions? Thank you.